Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining me, former NBA players Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson, and the award-winning David Aldridge is on our sidelines. We're live from Portland, Oregon. Hometown fans are cheering for their Trailblazers. Portland moving the ball around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Back to Avdia. And a miss there on the triple.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
You know, the hopes of a super team in Brooklyn did not come to fruition at all, Richard, and you saw it firsthand.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Kevin. Yes, I have a front row view to it. And look, from a fan's perspective, it's a tough take. The team brings in some of the biggest stars this league has ever seen. You are thinking championship, and you never got close.
And so it's the Nets getting on the board first. To the right side. Back to Simons. Pass to Ayton. Driving in. And Ayton throws it down.
Terrific physicality from Ayton, just going right to the rim.
First quarter, just over a minute played. Here is Russell. Johnson outside. Good, and the assist goes to Russell.
Look at the release from Johnson, getting that shot off before the defenders can close out.
Pass to Simons. Back to Ayton. Releases. It's not going to go for him.
Not that time, but that's a shot that he's going to make more oftentimes than not.
Thomas with the steal. One-on-one fast break. It's slammed in by William.
And what can you say about an alley-oop from that far away?
You can't say anything. It was pure beauty. And the wide-open shot from Avdia. And he's good on the three ball.
Nice find from the big man, Ayton. I like watching this man scan the floor.
To the inside. Here's Claxton. Pass to Johnson. Second shot opportunity. Yes, that goes in.
Going to work in the mid-range. This is how confident Johnson is from this area.
Trailblazers trail by 3. A nice shot by Simons.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
The shot's good from Claxton.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
And if you listen to Jimmy Johnson talk about shooting, my goodness, RJ, he is a student of the game.
Studies a lot of different shooters, constantly analyzing his own footwork. And you know what? The result speaks for themselves.
Brooklyn with the ball after the Trailblazers pick up 2. Down low. Got a piece of it. Johnson in the corner. 4 on the clock. Over Avdia. Portland grabs the miss.
It just seemed like they were out of sync and waited way too long.
And it's Ayton missing. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for Brooklyn. Williams' shot is off. Portland trailing here. Pass to Sharp. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
So they take the lead.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, when he gets engaged this early in the game, it's bad news for the defense. He will start throughout the rest of the game.
Oh, big finish. Emphatic.
He hangs on the rim just for good measure. Wow. Pass to Avdia. Back to Simons. And each season, GA, it seems like Anthony Simons is given more and more responsibility.
And you can understand why. He's proven to be a versatile scorer. We are seeing him take the next step with his playmaking.
And here are the Nets. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Russell looking it over. Johnson wide open. He fires. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Johnson's got 7 points in the game. And that one's good, Ayton.
Just terrific at executing in the paint. Ayton has a nice array of shots to choose from.
Thomas. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Jeremy Grant picks one up. This is his first free throw of the game.
And last season, 86% from the line. So he's always had that calm presence at the line no matter the situation.
Back to Avdia. Here's Simons. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. It's the Nets. It's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the Nets, what do you think?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
Well, let's see if they're able to keep it up. So far, their shot selection and ball movement has been on point.
The shot by Johnson, no good. And it's Grant in the corner. Outside, Avdia. Drills it from outside. Avdia's got his second basket of the game. And a big part of perimeter defense, Greg, avoiding screens. What are some of the tricks of the trade in that regard?
Well, sometimes you have to get skinny. I mean, other times it's using your strength. A lot goes into it. Also, getting a cadence for the screener. It's one of the more challenging aspects of NBA defense.
Poked loose. And stolen by Thibault. Ayton in the high post. Back to Thibault. Portland moving the ball around. Just 3 to shoot. For 3, Henderson. The Nets with the lead. Russell with it. Now Henderson defending. Outside Thomas. Dan Johnson now top of the key. Here's Russell. Here's Claxton. Another shot. the layup is good. Claxton's got 6.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
Oh, yeah, you think you got to stop, and it's wasted because of sloppy work on the glass. You literally practice that every day.
Outside, Avdia. Ayton in the corner. Back to Avdia. It's stolen by Johnson. Stolen by Henderson. And now Portland on the break.
Excellent instincts on the defensive end. Henderson has a feel for when to attack the ball.
And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Portland had, Greg, one of the great guard combinations in Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter.
Man, that was one heck of a backcourt, and they really complemented each other so well. Drexler with his explosive scoring ability, and Porter who could just do a little bit of everything.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Blazers are in the midst of a rebuild. Coach Chauncey Billups said it's been a tough couple of years. I'm just here every day grinding through it, helping my guys the best I can. I'm ready for that challenge and that pressure to go out and compete with these best teams. But in the NBA, Kevin, this sort of thing takes time.
A lot of time, but the West is tough, David. Thank you. Tipped away. And stolen by Thibault. Here's Grant. And the dunk by Grant.
And leaking out there in transition, Grant's athleticism and speed helping him when the break is on.
.149 left to play here in the half. Right side, Williams. From the arc. Got it. And he's now 3 for 5 from the field.
And what kind of defense was that? You can't give up wide open threes like that. What are you doing?
And the shot goes in.
And the dime going to Ayton, expanding the passing part of his game.
Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
1:03 left in the second quarter. Pass to Grant. And here's Avdia. He has 6.
Ooh, you've got to love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. Johnson outside. The kick out to Williams. That one falls coming off Johnson's feed. 9 points for Williams.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Pass to Ayton. And such a nice move to make the basket work. Ayton's got the game tied up here for the Trailblazers. Claxton with it. He has 6. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Grant. Here's Ayton. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Trailblazers have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. Free throw drops for Ayton. That one is no good. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. 1 second left. And it's in. Nails the buzzer beater. First half of the game so far. Nets lead by 1. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Since moving back to Brooklyn in 2012, the Nets, Greg, have won just 2 playoff series.
And just think about the all-stars they've had. KG, Pierce, Durant, Kyrie, Harden. I could name more. The Nets just haven't been able to put it together.
The Nets shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. And he makes both free throws. So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Here's Simons. Pass to Klingon. Avdia on the wing. It's good from long range. Avdia's got 11 points.
You give a shooter of his caliber that much time to seam it up? Oh, yeah, you're done.
Back to Johnson. Pass to Watford. 5 on the clock. Outside for Martin. Now here's Wilson. And here's Sharp. On the wing, Johnson. Fires from deep. Got a hand on it. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And the Trailblazers with possession here. And Klingon has it in the corner. No good on the 3. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Here's Watford. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. And now we've got... intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Grant surveying the D. And Clingan has it in the corner. And Simons has it in the corner.
How about the reaction time on that pass? And what good work there to get in the way of it.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And all of a sudden, that man was just on the other end. Wow.
A nice shot by Clingan.
He'll be asking for some lottery numbers later if he keeps knocking down shots like that.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. The Nets shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. That's good from Watford. And so he hits both. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Portland trailing here. Now Simons. Clock at 6. To the middle. Here's Avdia. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Johnson outside. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Pass to Watford. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. Now, here's Grant. Outside, Simons. Pass to Ayton. That one good for 2. Ayton's got 9.
That is a strong move by Ayton. He is merciless in there.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Anthony Simons came into the NBA at age 19, and he's paid his dues, working his way up from the end of the bench to a starring role. Coach Chauncey Billups says he just believes he's one of the best players in the NBA, and confidence is a big thing. Well, Kevin, he certainly earned it. Back to you.
I would totally agree with you, D.A. Thank you so much. Pass to Kamare. Shot clock at 6. Out the bucket, and he's got the Trailblazers have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
44 seconds left in the third quarter. Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Well, you talk about Cam Thomas. RJ, he's one of the most explosive scorers I know in the NBA.
Well, after Kyrie and KD got traded out of Brooklyn, Thomas went off, putting together a streak of 3 straight 40-point games.
So both teams changing it up here. Cam Thomas was the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, GA. And I think a lot of teams, wouldn't you agree, are regretting passing on him.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that he fell all the way to the end of the first round. Lots of teams would love to have a scorer like him on their roster.
Now a timeout called by Portland. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And, Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
And Brooklyn has possession. They get a hand on it. Johnson outside. There's a defensive 3-second call. This is his second trip to the line in this one. And so he hits the technical free throw. 24 seconds left in the third.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
For Brooklyn, they have an exceptional shooting. Free throws tonight going 9 for 9. And so Russell hits them both.
For a star like him, you get lots of opportunities at the line, and he's great at cashing them in.
The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. It's on Nick Claxton.
What a finish by Sharp while taking the contact. It takes skill to win these and one opportunities.
Deep two from Russell. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Robert Williams.
Yeah, easy call.
These are his third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
And last season's numbers show him at about an 83% clip, which is far better than most.
And hey, he did just enough to get the lead. That's what's most important.
Here's Williams. Lays it up off the glass. Williams has got his first 2 points. And Portland out in front, up by 1. And with these teams locked in very close contest, the fourth quarter promises to be a good one. And so it's Avdia with it. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. They lead by 1. Ayton attacking.
And this is the effort you want to see out of your guys, win or lose.
You can't question the desire of these teams. It's going to be difficult for either side to get separation.
Johnson outside. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Avdia. To the paint. Here's Ayton. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Trailblazers.
Great heads-up defensive play tonight, creating offensive opportunities for themselves by forcing deflections.
And you also have to applaud how they've been able to create turnovers and then convert those on the offensive end.
Trailblazers moving the ball around. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Kamare. Kept alive.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Nets trail by 5. Here's Johnson. Lets it go. Rebounded by DeAndre.
That is not a bad decision to pull it from there. It was just a little bit off with the execution.
To the wing right side. Rebounded by the Nets.
Now, I understand that that shot didn't go down, but they will take that look every trip down the floor.
Got that one up.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
And his team needs every bit of his production if they want to pull this period.
First free throw is good. And Sharp drops them both. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Johnson left side. Launches a 3. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
This is how lethal a scorer Johnson can be. Keep feeding that beast.
And here's Sharp. And he makes good on the layup. And the Trailblazers lead by 4.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Outside Thomas. On the wing, Johnson. 5 to shoot. Claxton inside. Goes back up. Ball's not loose. Stolen by Avdia. Ayton with it. Picked up by Claxton.
A double-double machine who can also block shots. You won't find many centers with Ayton's size and talent.
And a tough break as his second attempt at the line, no good. Williams with the ball. Johnson outside. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Here's Sharp. And it goes down 2 points. Sharp's got 9 points now in just the second half.
And this young guy is already imposing his will on the game. Sharp, someone you can count on in the moment.
The three-pointer is right on target. Johnson's got 19 points.
Wow, look at the damage this young man is doing from deep. And there's another one.
And the defense has to know that taking away his three is the #1 priority, and he's hurt them all game long with that shot. It makes no sense.
And Ayton throws it down.
This is why they give Ayton the ball in these spots. They trust him and his ability to deliver.
Claxton with a bucket. 8 points for Nick Claxton.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Yeah, it's clear why they go to him in these moments. They know he's going to deliver for him.
Back to Ayton. Pass to Sharp. Going inside. Money!
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
He knew what they needed here and was determined to deliver.
Johnson with it. Now Avdia defending. And out of bounds as the Trailblazers gain possession. A chance here to possibly put it out of reach.
This is when you really need to maintain your focus.
And they go to the intentional foul. Drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 5-point game.
Well, they wanted every last one of those, and he delivered, making it a 2-possession game.
On the wing, Johnson. Jacks up a 3. Got a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. It was last touched by Avdia. From deep, Johnson. That shot off. So they foul intentionally. First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game. Williams for 3. Off the mark. And so it's Portland winning this one. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they... It's the NBA on 2K. Sports. Alongside Hall of Famers Doris Burke and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce on the sidelines. It'll be the Nets off the tip. Doris, it's interesting, but the Nets franchise has never won an NBA championship.
That's absolutely correct, because their titles came before the merger. Now, since they've joined this league, they did go to the finals for a couple of times. Had Jason Kidd, who was the driver of success, but no championship in this modern era.
Pass to Kamari. Here's Simons. Here's Kamari. Simons with it. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And so it's Avdia with it. He brings it up for Portland. And Ayton gets it to go.
Well, that's a determined scorer right there. DeAndre Ayton showing a little toughness on the interior finish.
Good work there as it goes.
The value of good ball movement isn't lost on this squad.
Oh, and Johnson with a block. Williams in the post. Got it.
Making a statement here early, going right to the rack. I love it.
And this is why you get the ball into his hands. Let him establish the pace and rhythm of the game.
Pass to Simons. And Claxton comes to help. And here's Sharp. Over Thomas. Sharp, no good.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
Avdia outside. Launches a three. Claxton with a rebound.
He had more than enough room to hit that. Just couldn't make it happen.
Doris, someone who plays within himself. Nick Claxton knows what he wants from him.
There's real value in a player understanding his role, and that's Nick Claxton. Sprint the floor, rebound, rim protect. He knows who he is and what puts him on the floor.
And Brooklyn with possession here. Portland making their last shot.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
And they should, because it's when you start turning down that kind of look that your offense can start to bog down a bit.
And they may have talked about shot selection coming into this.
Pass to Russell. And we're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. From deep, Johnson sends it home from three-point land.
You don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
Rejected by Claxton. Outside, Williams. Williams on the wing. Over Sharp. And too long on the shot. And so it's Avdia with it. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. They trail by 1. There's Simons with a 3. And can't get it to go. Now 1 of 2. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Tony Fernandez. How they'll go about defending DeAndre Ayton came up, and coach told me once Ayton gets deep, it's too late. We need to find him early and not let him set up down low. Push him out to the line. That's a lot to be pushing around with Ayton being as big as they come.
Thanks for that, Allie. And Williams drops them both.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
Pass to Simons. Outside for Grant. Plenty of space. Brooklyn pulls it in.
Boy, defense nowhere to be found, and neither was his shot at that time.
Back to Williams. Brooklyn, no good that time either. Blazers trail by 3. Ayton inside. Over Claxton. Misses off the right iron. And out of bounds, the Trailblazers will take it.
Well, when you're careless with the basketball, you can expect that to happen.
.40 seconds left in the first quarter. Offensively, it's been a struggle for them.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
Avdia. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Doesn't have to break his momentum at all to catch the pass.
To the middle. Out to Simons. Back to Avdia. The 3. Drains it. Now he's 3 for 5. And the lead just keeps changing hands.
5 times already, and we still haven't gotten out of the first half.
Williams from long range. Simons with a rebound. Here's Grant. Claxton with the block. And at the end of 1, a closely contested game. Good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Portland.
Coming into tonight, maybe you thought they were going to settle for perimeter jump shots. Nope, that's not the case.
They've certainly made the commitment to pounding the basketball into the painted area, and boy, is it paying dividends.
Here's Avdia. Laid it in with a nice touch off the window. Avdia's got 9 points. Hey, Grant, we know the importance of the veteran leaders on a team, but not every vet wants to accept a mentorship role.
Very true, B.A. In your later years, that role becomes a blend of playing and kind of coaching. Not everyone is cut out for that.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Portland.
In the early goings, their effort level has been exceptional. The speeding around the defense and opening up options with good penetration.
They've also done a really good job taking advantage of miscues. Their defense has been stifling in this one.
Back to Sharp. To the wing, right side. 6 on the shot clock. From the right block. Ayton, no good. Brooklyn trailing. Williams misses. So it's Portland now. Blockbuster trades have become more the norm here in the NBA, Grant. Just ask Portland in 2023.
Yeah, the Trailblazers were at the center of some big moves, but that's just how it's done now. Entire teams can be restructured in the process of a single transaction.
Here's Johnson. The Blazers making their last shot. And it's Deni Avdija with the foul. That's his first foul.
I have to admit, it's always a tough decision for the ref on the block charge call.
Outside Johnson. From deep three-point land.
And I just love it when Sharp is committed on defense. He knows how to make things difficult for opposing players.
Not sure why he committed the intentional foul. No purpose.
I think everyone's a little confused, but weird plays happen. You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Back to Sharp. There's the block.
Well, that's the energy and effort that D'Angelo Russell brings on the defensive end. This guy has got the ability to be a factor there.
And Ayton with the stuff.
Just great offense. The screen freeing him up for the slam.
Hey, without that screen, he doesn't get a clean look at the rim.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Nick Claxton, despite his relatively slender frame, is a hard-nosed defender. He said, "I bow down to no one. Every time I step on the court, I always have that chip on my shoulder. That's just the fiery competitor that I am. At the end of the day, I know what I'll hang my hat on, the defensive side of the ball." Brian?
Okay, Allie, thanks for that.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Boy, we're seeing it more and more. Guys looking to create additional space by stepping back further from the line.
Misses the layup. Nets trail by 6. And there's the foul. It'll go on Matisse Thybulle. That's his first foul of the game.
And there's just one foul now away from the penalty.
And the Nets call time here.
And no doubt, coach wants them to improve their interior defense.
I think right now they're giving up way too many easy looks. That is a recipe for disaster.
And now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter here. Pulls it. And again, it's the Nets missing. Portland leading by 6. And you watch Donovan Clingan. He really benefited from that extra year in college, Grant.
Yeah, the development cycle can be a little longer for centers, B.A. He cleaned up a lot offensively and took his strength and conditioning to another level.
To end the drought. Russell into the lane. And it's good on the layup.
Oh, man, how good is he at turning on the Jets and getting to that next level? D'Angelo Russell, fearless, driving on the interior.
Now here's Grant. No points yet. Clingan. That one off the back iron and out. Nets trail by 4. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Well, deliver the pass where your teammate can do something with it. Nice.
Here's Clingan. Back to Grant. And after missing his first 3 shots, he drains it 1 for 4.
Now, this guy is a high percentage shooter from this particular area. Because he can elevate off the floor, it's nice and efficient.
The shot by Russell, no good. A chance to go 2 for 1.
And you really must play this just right. Woo! When you finish like that, you deserve to brag.
Impressive, no question.
How about that from your point guard, gentlemen? Playing big at the rim. Okay.
Portland leading by 6. And we've got 28 seconds left in the first half of this game. Here's Grant. Sharp grabs the miss.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
Back to Williams. Offensive rebound. Outside for Russell. Over Simons. And That's not gonna go. Misses at the buzzer. And so it's Portland leading by 6 as we wrap up the quarter. Their key to consistency has been their dominance in the paint. They've been the more physical team. We'll be right back. And if you're just joining us, we played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Now here's Simons. Pass to Klingon. Brooklyn pulls it in. Now here's Williams. Johnson inside. Here's Lewis. 5 to shoot. Second shot opportunity. The shot by Johnson, no good.
That's a shot he makes with regularity, but that time the defense up to the challenge.
You know, Grant, with the Nets, there was so much optimism just a few years back.
And it was just too bad to see things go south. It's a reminder that nothing is as easy as it seems in the NBA. Even with a superstar roster, things don't always work out. You can get away with one once in a while, but it looked like he wasn't completely set on that pick.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Johnson with a bucket. Portland leading by 4. Here's Klingon. Pass to Kamari. Here's Klingon. Guarded by Sharp. Here's Kamari. Here's Klingon. And down it goes. 2 points. Klingon's got his first 2 points.
Well, that's not the guy you want guarding him at the rim. Just too much of a differential in terms of size.
Pass to Johnson. Shoots over Simons. The shot by Johnson, no good.
He just couldn't finish the job that time, and too bad, because it was a nice look.
Here's Klingon. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line. Portland shooting their first free throws of this game. No good on the free throw. The Trailblazers making a switch here. And he sinks the second. Nets trail by 7. Here's Johnson. Avdia pulls it in.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just one pass more?
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
The Blazers have a lot to learn. Coach Chauncey Billups says, I owe it to these players to coach them. The only way I know to do that is with honesty. It's always coming from a good place. Once you know that, then you take it with love. I lead with love. I don't lead with fear. Brian?
That's a Hall of Fame mentality, Allie. He's been in their shoes. Nice dish, and the layup goes down. And now an 11-point Trailblazer lead.
Transition basketball, the most reliable way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
Now here's Avdia. They lead by 11, largest margin of the game. Pass to Kamari. It'll be Brooklyn's ball. There's 1:34 left in the third quarter of the game. Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket. Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Wow, an emphatic two-handed slam. Here's Klingon. Here's Simons. Outside for Grant. Stolen by Sharp. And the ball out of play. The Trailblazers will have it. Trailblazers lead by 9. Simons outside. Down low. Here's Grant. Oh, Grant throws it down.
How about Jeremy Grant playing to his strength, uses that athleticism to finish that one with authority.
Out of bounds. It'll be Trailblazers ball. And it's Simons with the ball for the Portland Trailblazers. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half. Now here's Grant. Give him 8 points now. And it's Simons penetrating. Up and in on the layup. Simons has got 6 points.
Even with the score as it is, he just keeps coming at you.
Johnson for 3. It's rebounded by Grant.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
And the Trailblazers call time here.
He recognized his players were fatigued and needed time to catch their breath.
So both teams making some changes here. Time called here. The Trailblazers decide to talk it over.
I don't think this timeout is just to give the guys a breather. Coach is looking to switch things up.
And as you know, it's what comes after that gives you some sense of what has changed.
Timeout called. Portland. Now a timeout called by Portland. Timeout called the Blazers. Nets on D. It's a 13-point game. Here's Sharp. Thibault on the wing. Back to Sharp. Pass to Thibault. Sharp with it. Williams defending. And that one's good. Sharp.
And he's just crushing them with plays like that. I mean, just continuing to pile it on.
You want to make sure your opponent knows they have absolutely zero chance of a comeback, and nice finish by him.
And here at the end of the third, it's a double-digit ball game. Portland ahead. And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Nets trail by 15. Thomas outside. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. Well, you look at Cam Thomas, Grant. Do you think he has the potential to be a star in this league?
Well, you know, it's tough to say, B.A. He has a lot of talent, especially as a scorer. I think he has to keep evolving other parts of his game if he wants to become a full-fledged star.
And here's Sharp. Pass to Thibault. To the left side wing. Just pull to shoot. And Ayton gets it to go.
Well, true to form in today's NBA, as a big man, DeAndre Ayton has face-up ability, and that's critical.
From deep, Johnson. And Ayton pulls it down. Portland leading by 16. Back to Grant. Pass to Ayton. Now Grant. From deep. Can't nail the jumper.